Well, welcome to Cedar Creek Homestead. This is Howie here. I was going to show you just a little bit of growing turnips today. If you don't like turnips, or if you've never tried them, give them a try. And if it's something that maybe you tried when you were a youngster, give it a try again. Turnips are very easy to grow. When I was a kid, I hated turnips. I didn't like the greens, I didn't like the actual turnips, but now that I've gotten older, I love them. I love the bulb, I love the greens, all that. I was going to tell you real quick, I'll try to do a video this winter of cooking some turnips. Here comes a car by, so we'll let them go by and see what they're up to. That was my auntie. Anyway, this winter, if time permits, I'll try to do a video or two of growing or harvesting and cooking turnips. But I'll tell you some quick ways here that we do turnips. One way is the greens, and they make plenty of greens, especially when they're young and tender. I like them. If I don't have them that I've grown, I buy them in the store, and they're called, I think it's Old Glory or Faded Glory, something like that they sell here. And they're already pre-seasoned with bacon fat and stuff in it. Some kind of, I know that that's good for you, but sure tastes good. Anyway, I'll cook up turnip greens occasionally if I have them. And I really like the turnip greens. Then my grandma used to fry them in bacon grease, and she had a little thing she did, and she would eat them and cornbread. I'm not real crazy about cornbread because we had so much of it growing up. That's one thing that I just don't eat much. Don't eat a lot of bread even anymore, just because of the gluten and stuff like that, and trying to lose a little weight. So, but anyway, some people like to just sit down with a pan of cornbread and turnip greens. Sometimes adding a little hot pepper juice in them is good on the greens. Now we also take the turnip bulb when it gets pretty good size. When the turnip bulb gets pretty big, we'll take and peel it and fry it like a potato. They are very good that way. You can take and add potatoes in with it if you want to, and fry them up that way. You can also take the turnip bulb, peel it, dice it up, and boil it like you would mashed potatoes. Mash it up real good like mashed potatoes, and add some pepper to it, like cayenne pepper. Take you one just little old cayenne pepper, chop it up, maybe just half of one, enough to give it some heat. And I don't like hot stuff, but I do like it with a little heat. Seems like it gives a little flavor. That's really good. So there's all kinds of ways. Another thing I like to do is called a fall medley, and you take a little pan and bake it in the oven, and you put sweet potatoes, turnips, real potatoes, onions, all root crop stuff, and you can big kind of slices and bake it in the oven. And now that is really delicious, especially it seems like the fall time of the year. We don't grow sweet potatoes here, but we have a thing every year here, a big arts and crafts festival at the Fin and Feather Arts and Crafts. Well, in town down here, they have flea market stuff where people set up booths everywhere, all kinds of old equipment, antique stuff, and things that you could use on your homestead are for sale for about a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We always go on Friday, the first day of it, get our stuff done, then the crowds are there on Saturday. But every year I buy a big sack of sweet potatoes, and they're maybe $15, but I don't grow. I just buy a sack from these people that grow them. They have them for sale every year. They have all kinds of stuff for sale, but I'll go buy a sack of sweet potatoes, and that'll pretty much last us. Now, if you really are into sweet potatoes, that wouldn't even start you off, but that does us for the year. So I don't grow sweet potatoes, but I'll take a few of them, a few of my turnips when they get ready, and some real potatoes, whatever, onions, and mix all that and bake it. Now, you talk about a delicacy, that's some good eating. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you just a minute about how to plant turnips. Now, I buy these from our local feed store. They have all kinds of seeds. I like the purple top. Now this I've already planted this year, and I've gotten a stand of little bitty turnips up. These seeds are 2018, so I'm not wasting them. I'm just going to go ahead and plant them too. I've got plenty enough to last, but I'm going to go down through here and plant these on top. They may or may not come up, but I was going to show you the seeds. This is 99 cents for this packet of seeds, and there is a bunch of seeds in there. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it has a lot of seeds. And these are extremely tiny seeds here. See if the camera can see how small those seeds are. I mean, very, very little. That little handful right there would produce a lot of turnips. And if you take a whole bag, of turnips like this right here, that's filled up to that, with that many. That's all I did right here. In a minute I'll show you that these have come up just thick down through here. And I'm going to do this. Now what I do is till up the ground. I got a rear tine tiller. When it rains, the rain will beat them in the ground. You don't need to cover them. You don't need to worry about anything. If you are in a dry spell, water them, and the water will beat them in. If you get them too deep, they won't come up. A lot of people say their turnips won't come up because they get them too deep. Last year I planted the 1st of August. I've gotten by with that in years past. But right after I planted, we went into a dry spell. It rained. I planted them right before rain. Beat them in the ground. They came up. But then they died out because of a lack of rain. We had 3 weeks that it didn't rain. It had been raining steady, did just fine, and we went through a 3-week spell and they died. Well, I tilled up again, planted another crop, and they did wonderful. And we had turnips all winter long. We had turnips out here. And people stop by and get them that like turnips. I got a little gate out here, and they just help themselves pull them up 3 or 4, 5, 6 turnips, whatever they need. And I had a bigger patch last year than I've got right now, so I'm going to go ahead and plant these seeds. If they come up, fine. But I'll just show you kind of what I do. Like I say, the turnips last us all year last year. It didn't get cold enough to kill them out. Normally, by about the end of December, our turnips are gone. I have a friend that, well, he don't live there now, but he did, that him and his daughter there, they would plant turnips. He's a retired guy, and he would harvest them after the first frost, and then they would bury them under the ground, and they'd have turnips year-round. But the past few years, it's been so mild here that you don't need to worry about that. But I usually have about all I want to eat. I also grow them out in the pasture for the cows to eat, so there's some out there I can always pull up if I need them. When I plant them in the pasture, I still plant purple top turnips, and I buy them in 50-pound sacks. I just buy these little packages to go early, and because a lot of seeds here. But anyway, last year I replanted about the 1st of September and did fine. That's what I've done here. These have come up. They're going to do fine. It's different where you live at, though. If you're up north, it's probably too late to plant turnips. If you live south of Interstate 40, we're right on Interstate 40 here. North of us, it's probably getting a little late. South, you're probably okay to still plant, even though it's coming up the 1st of October. But I would say normally you want to be planted by the 1st of September to get a good crop. But anyway, I just sow them out on the ground like this. No big deal. These are little bitty seeds. You don't have to be scientific with it, nothing special. It's fixing to rain today. We're under a chance of rain. So I did not freshly till this up. But I thought a few more wouldn't hurt. So just like that. Very, very simple. This one little packet of turnips for 99 cents will make you a lot of food. And I get kind of tired of turnips after a little while, so at first, you know, they're kind of really, I can't hardly wait for them to make. I can't hardly wait for these to make. If there was some ready, I'd be pulling them today and telling my wife to cook me up some turnips. But later you'll get so many, you get tired of them, or we do, and get all that we want. But anyway, I just sow them on the ground like that. Just let the rain beat them in. Usually, like I say, I'll till this up. I've got a rear tine tiller, and it really loosens the soil up. So we've kind of got a more sandy, loomy soil here. But I've had several people tell me their turnips didn't come up. And what they do is they'll plant them, and then they really cover them up good. A lot of times you just get them too deep. That little old seed is so tiny, you just barely need to get it on top of the ground. The rain will beat it in. But anyway, I'll show you here a little bit of these turnips, what they look like, the ones that have come up already. And they've been, actually it's probably been about 2 weeks so far. I say a month, it's been about 2 weeks actually on them. But I'll show you what I don't fertilize. There's no need to fertilize turnips. They don't need anything. If you got any halfway decent soil, I've even grown up here on this end of the garden's got some clay, and I have sown some up there before, and they grew in that old clay soil. They'll just about grow anywhere. So I don't like using man-made fertilizer, anything extra, if I don't have to. But if I do, I got it. I can throw it out here, but there's no need. I apologize for my voice. I'm getting over a cold or thing that I had, and so I'm kind of losing my voice. My wife will probably appreciate that, but kind of be some quiet here for a few days. But anyway, I'm trying to do a little video while these are just getting started, and then may do some update videos as we go along. But anyway, I'm going to show you the turnips. Alrighty, there they are. You can see they're just little bitty, and I mean, it's a lot of turnips. If they all make, we're going to have far more turnips than what we can eat, and be enough for neighbors and friends and whoever wants some turnips. But all them little seeds, little specks there, and there's a few morning glories coming up in there, but this is all turnips. Pretty much all turnips. There's some just now coming up right in here. So you'll have plenty of, I'll have plenty of turnips here. And I just sowed them other seeds out up in here. So as this comes along, we'll have, but that's a good winter crop. It's also a good cover crop. Another thing happens when them turnips begin to make a bulb. They'll get a big old bulb, and sometimes they'll get huge. I've had some big old huge ones, way too big to eat. But they open up your soil, and they'll rot in there, which gives nutrition. If you don't eat them, they'll rot down in this soil. And also, it opens up a hole and allows, kind of like you're aerating the soil, but you're doing it naturally, and the water will just come down in there. So it's kind of a neat thing. But give you a little bit of what we do here at Turnips, growing turnips. And I appreciate you watching here at Cedar Creek Homestead. If you haven't subscribed, if you'd subscribe to our videos, once you subscribe, there's a little bell icon that comes up next to the subscribe button. And if you click on that, it'll put some little shock waves around the bell. And what'll happen anytime I upload a video, in your little feed bar there where you've got a little bell on your deal on your computer, it'll list people that's just uploaded videos that you have clicked to be notified. So you'll be notified when we upload a video. And I hope this is helpful to you. If you have a certain way that you grow turnips, or a certain way that you eat them or something, make sure and comment in the comments below. I think turnips are so healthy for you, and so many different ways to cook them. But a lot of folks say they don't like turnips, and I'm like, when did you try them? Well, my grandma gave me some turnip greens when I was a kid. Well, as you get older, your taste buds change. I don't know if they just don't work anymore or what the deal is, but you start liking things like broccoli and cauliflower. Hey, I appreciate you watching. God bless you. We'll see you next time. We're gone.